It is I, the Nugget, back with an additional 2 SCP files. As always, all reading material can be found in the description. So, without further ado, let us begin today's audio with the first file on our list. Item number SCP-128, classified as Euclid. 128 is an immaterial source of kinetic energy, which can be conferred upon any non-living solid material within line of sight of the source. The source itself is motile, with a tendency to remain along the walls or at the central wheel of the containment chamber. The line of sight is blocked by an opaque material, including lead, steel, or even single sheets of paper, but not transparent materials such as ballistic glass. Opaque radiolucent materials will contain 128's range of effect, suggesting that transmission of energy occurs at visible light wavelengths, but darkness does not prevent transmission of kinetic energy. Any loose, non-living materials within line of sight of 128 are at risk of anomalous propulsion to hazardous velocities. Items under 100 grams in mass have been observed to accelerate to velocities of up to 900 meters per second in a period of 0.1 seconds, similar in force to machine gun fire. Analysis of the mass and velocity of every object undergoing acceleration indicates that the system of affected objects contains a consistent linear momentum of 2,500 kilograms per second, anomalously unconstrained by direction. It is therefore advisable to have many heavier items available to the object instead of fewer lighter items. Despite 128's invisible, immaterial form, it has been determined that the entity cannot be compressed into a space under a 2-centimeter radius sphere. Such compression with opaque materials, however, is not advised. Poltergeists are an obsolete term anyway. This is not a spirit or a consciousness as we might think of the term. It can't pass through walls or the like. This is a source of kinetic energy. I've updated the description to show this. It's hard to say what precisely it is, but it appears to be best thought of as a hole through which a constant momentum enters this universe. How this accomplished is still a subject of further tests. In addition, the anomaly did not have direct control over the phenomenon. If the anomaly had conscious control, the phenomenon would have ceased with its termination. Instead, if we continue the analogy of this being a hole, then the anomaly was a valve covering the hole, which could be opened or closed to allow in more or less momentum. This valve appears to have been stuck open. So, all the talk about us having the ghost of a telekinetic hamster in a containment should stop. It's inaccurate. And lastly, to wrap up this file, we will look at the special containment procedures in place. SCP-128 is to be held in a windowless containment chamber with blast-proof doors and walls and a ventilation system that maintains Class 100 clean room conditions inside. The interior of the containment chamber is to be monitored remotely by cameras welded in place with protective grating. The speakers and laser monitoring system must be similarly welded onto place and protected with grating. The entry to 128's containment chamber must include an antechamber with a second locked door that cannot be viewed from the chamber door. Personnel entering the test chamber for any reason must wear ballistic armor and must not bring any loose item inside the chamber. All required equipment must be rigidly mounted to the armor. Interference with the laser monitoring system or the central wheel is forbidden unless required for maintenance. In the center of the containment chamber, a wheel must be mounted to a concrete pedestal and allowed to spin freely. Should the wheel be measured to spin at less than 4,000 RPM at any time, all personnel are required to evacuate the containment chamber, and foam nozzles will be deployed. A faint yeast-like smell might be detected, but beyond that, -1 is asymptomatic. A second organism, -2, can then affect the host, causing the victim to experience symptoms identical to those of acute viral nasopharyngitis or the common cold. The decreased efficacy of the host's immune system due to the infection from -2 allows -1 to become entrenched further. -1 and -2 generally leave the host body within 4 to 6 days, though both species are fairly widespread, and most of the population has little to no protection against either organism. They pose little danger themselves, except to facilitate infection by -3. Stage 2. Although -3 is usually stopped by natural mucus, Stage 1 infection changes the composition of the host mucus so that the host is significantly less resistant to -3. Once established in the host, -3 alters the host's mucus, lymph, and blood such that other species of 129 can thrive in the host. Symptoms of Stage 2 infection include greatly increased mucus production, a nagging cough due to excess phlegm, a lingering low-grade fever, increased sweating and salivating, a somewhat increased preference for vegetables, and the complaint that certain fruit juices taste odd. Infection by -3 generally lasts anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 months before being driven out by the immune system, unless the host enters Stage 3 infection. A large percent of all humans have experienced Stage 2 infection at some point, but due to natural immunities and the relative rarity of Stage 3 species, a small amount of that percentage have passed into Stage 3. Stage 3. In the absence of -3, nearly all animals are immune to the 3 species that cause Stage 3 infection. However, a small number of Stage 2 victims can become infected with one or more of these species. In these cases, the fungal infections become entrenched in the host and cannot be removed without extraordinary measures. Individually, the 3 Stage 3 species elicit different symptoms in the host. -4 causes increased tear production, slight yellowing of the eyes. -5 causes the host nails to thicken and significantly increased earwax production. And -6 causes bright yellow urine and small pellets in the host's feces, both of which smell strongly of yeast. However, a victim who becomes infected with all 3 of these species will, within hours, develop flu-like or worse symptoms and become bedridden for 3 to 5 weeks. Afterward, though the victim appears to have recovered fully, in actuality, 129 has spread throughout all systems in the host's body, marking passage into Stage 4. Stage 4. Victims who reach Stage 4 appear generally healthy, and indeed may be more lively and energetic than at any time since first contracting 129. In actuality, -1 through -6 have spread throughout the host's body, completely infiltrating the subject's immune, repository, circulatory, reproductive, and central nervous system, Mycelia from 129 species also permeate the host's skin and replace some percentage of the host's hair. These hyphae, which are nearly indistinguishable from the host's natural hair, are used to propagate 129 to other hosts. Any potential host that comes into contact with a shed-off hyphae has a 90% chance of becoming infected with 129. Hyphae seems to be equally contagious from any part of the host's body. Despite, or perhaps because of, increased susceptibility to 129, Stage 4 victims are much more resistant to viral and bacterial pathogens than uninfected subjects. All known subjects who have reached Stage 4 have either progressed to Stage 5 or died within a matter of weeks. Stage 5. Symptoms of Stage 5 infection depend on a variety of factors, including the particular Stage 5 species that are present, as well as genetic, psychological, environmental, and any number of unknown factors. However, as in Stage 4, all Stage 5 victims are highly contagious and can infect victims who had previously shown complete immunity. Notable manifestations of Stage 5 symptoms. Witnesses riding in a commuter train car described a woman suddenly blowing up like a balloon and exploding. But instead of blood and viscera, the contents of the car were covered in spores and filaments. Analysis later showed that the victim was infected with -9 and -14. All persons and objects in the affected area were quarantined, euthanized, and incinerated per protocol. Another manifestation. Following a string of disappearances, the missing were dragged to a cave several kilometers from town. Inside, investigators found several pulsating mounds of flesh and vegetative material, although most were unrecognizable. A few of the entities retained some human characteristics and were identified as some of the missing citizens. Researchers theorized that victims of this combination of 129 would interact normally with the populace, attempting to infect others until, after a period of time, they would come to the cave. How and why they were brought here is not known. Upon arrival, the victims would be changed into the pulsating vegetative flesh mounds, which appeared to be organisms modified to provide a long-term source of sustenance for 129. Analysis suggests